Hi neighbors, welcome back to another video Cooking with Neighbors. My name is Jerry Ellen and welcome to my channel. I am glad to have you. It is a pleasure and thank you for coming by. Today I'm making a sweet treat. It is a mini chocolate brownie biscotti, and it's inspired by a Weight Watchers recipe that my friend Belinda sent to me. I modified it a bit, and I calculated the calories, the fat, the carbohydrates, the fiber, all that stuff, and how many points a serving is based on the old calculator and the new calculator as well. And I'll have all that information for you. So anyway, let's get started. And you can change this up a bit here and there too, and I'll let you know how or what you can do to change it. Okay, let me show you the ingredients that I'm using in today's recipe for the mini brownie biscottis. So mini brownie biscottis, okay, and delicious. Now, you're going to need flour, sugar, salt, unsweetened cocoa, baking powder, espresso powder, optional, instant espresso, 1 whole egg and 1 egg white, vanilla, and 1/3 of a cup of mini chocolate chips. Okay, if you don't have mini, I'm using regular, and if you want, you can just cut up the regular with a knife to make little bits throughout your biscotti if you like. Okay, I'm going to put 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour in the bowl here and get my dry ingredients. How is everybody doing? Our weather's been weird here. It's been -4, -3 Celsius. And today is going to be 18 Celsius. And then drop down to 3 Celsius. Crazy, I tell you, just crazy. I'm going to preheat my oven, to 350 first. Let's do that. My oven's preheating. 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. 1/2 cup of sugar, regular granulated sugar. This is where you can change it up. I'm not sure how much. I never bought the bag of sweetener. I bought like Sweet and Low, like the packages, but like a bag of sweetener. I don't know how much, but you could look that up if you want to change this to artificial sweetener. But 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. These are low calorie, it's 1/2 cup of sugar. I know it's going to have some chocolate chips in it and stuff. It is going to be kind of sweet, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good, even though it's a kind of like a Weight Watchers recipe. It's only going to be 50 calories to serve it. Okay, now baking powder. I want 1/2 teaspoon. A 1/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa. Cocoa tends to get some lumps, so I'm going to put it through this. This is optional. Espresso, instant espresso powder. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon. You can go 1/2 to 1.5 teaspoons in this recipe, or you can leave it out if you want. It enhances the chocolate flavor and gives a sort of a little hint of a coffee flavor in it. But I'll leave that up to you if you want to add it. 1 teaspoon. I keep saying 1/2 because you could do 1/2 if you want. I'm going to get some salt too. I'm going to use 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Get myself a little whisk. Incorporate that. Set that aside. And in a bowl, I'm going to put 1 large egg and the white of another large egg. I'll save the yolk for something else that I'll probably do today. Which I'm just doing a capful. Teaspoon of vanilla extract. They're incorporated. Now I'm going to add my wet to my dry. I'm also going to add, if you have mini chocolate chips, use a third of a cup of mini chocolate chips. I just have regular chocolate chips. If you have regular chocolate chips, you could take a knife to these so that they could break throughout the recipe, but I'm just adding them. This is going to be 1 point with the old calculator, using it, and 2 points if you're on Weight Watchers with the new calculator. I'm going to put these gloves on. I'm going to put parchment paper on a baking sheet too in a minute when my oven is finished preheating. I can't get my glove on. Oh my. My hands are actually pretty small, and all gloves seem to just like float on my hands. I'm not making a lot because it is just Graham and I. It's a nice little treat to have with our tea. But you can easily double this recipe because it's going to be so good you're going to want it doubled. And you want to make this into a dough, and it's going to be kind of sticky because it is a brownie mix. You could sprinkle a little bit of cocoa powder, but I got a silicone mat. And my hands, I just washed them again. I thought I used the silicone mat, thinking that I wouldn't have to dust the surface with some flour and cocoa, or just all-purpose flour or what have you, thinking that the silicone will help it not stick, but it is pretty sticky, and it sticked. Jer Bear is going to have a problem here. Wash my hands again. I got a new tap Graham bought for me. It's got a sensor on it to turn off and on the water. I love it. Okay, after all that mess is done, flour your hands every once in a while. Just dust them, like dust your hands with flour every once in a while so that it'll be easier to handle. You want it to be 12 inches long and a ½ inch thick, okay? So that's approximate. Give or take, okay? Okay? Give or take her. I'm going to put this in the oven now for 15 minutes. And you can lightly dust your parchment paper with some all-purpose flour as well for extra caution for it sticking. I got my oven rack 3rd shelf from the bottom, okay? And I'm going to bake that for 15 to 17 minutes. Okay, and then after the 15-17 minutes is done with them in the oven, I'm going to take them out. I'm going to cool them for 10 minutes on a baking rack, and then I'm going to show you the next step, okay? Okay, so I let that cool so that I can work with it. So I need to cut on an angle, 1/2 inch. I'm going to put these back in the oven on the parchment paper again. Maybe when you're putting it in the oven the first time, dust your thing with flour. You're going to put them up like that. The cut side up. Or dust it with cocoa. Or you could do what I did, just work it off with a thin spatula or something. So now they go back in. See? You're back in there. I'm going to time this for, you put on for another 10-15 minutes, so I'm just going to put it on for, I'm actually going to put it on for the 15. I like it like that. Okay, I took these out of the oven. When they started to get a little crisp in the oven, took my oven 15 minutes, and then I put them on the wire rack, let them cool for like 10-15 minutes, if you can wait that long. It's not been quite that long. Now I'm just putting them on here to make them look pretty for a picture. I'll take the end piece and the Timmy's coffee. Cheers. Turned off the sound so you don't hear the crunch, but it's crispy and nice. And it's got like the melted chocolate and the brownie flavor. Really good. I typed up a recipe for you. It's in the description box. I typed up the amount of calories and everything in the description box. Also created a link to bring you to a downloadable recipe I typed, and you can save it on your computer or print it off or whatever you want if you like. Anyway, all that info is in the description box under the video. Cheers. Peace, love, and God bless. Bye.